So I got to thinking about whether university is really a very good investment for young people. And it hits headlines every now and again. Another bit of research that says graduates struggle to find work, they're not paying off student debt in the way that people thought they would do, and so on. It got me thinking that someone ought to do a video, so it may as well be me. And it's strange. It's like the young people go to university with all these high hopes of meeting new people, making new friends, having a good time. That generally gets fulfilled, but the career aspect of it, I think, where young people are told, especially in high school, that getting good grades will open up better career options, generally isn't true anymore. It just isn't. I think grade inflation has a role to play in that. There was nearly a quarter of young people getting A's and A stars. The value added of good grades is largely diminished. It's not just that, there are far too many people going off to university. I think in the first place there's not enough graduate jobs, which is obvious, which is just another way of saying there's too many graduates and too many university courses, there's too many people going on to university, and there's too many universities, I think, too many university teachers. And it got me thinking about how things need to change, I think. We can't really go on as we are, just sending more and more people off to university for jobs that don't exist anymore. Part of it, I think, is how hard it is if you run a company trying to hire people, and building a large organisation which requires graduates. It's pretty unusual nowadays in entrepreneurs. It's quite unusual to find someone that wants to build an organisation that might have 50 or 60 staff, multiple departments that would require therefore an HR department which would require someone with a degree in psychology and the rest. If anything, most entrepreneurs try and keep their organisations small now. So I think 3 or 4 staff is a very typical number. There's a lot of overlap in roles, and there isn't much demand for specific specialists in these sort of organisations and these sort of companies and charities. So that's one of the reasons why there's far less jobs for graduates than there's ever been before. And I think one of the things as well that you hear universities talk about the rising demand for graduates, and that, to me anyway, isn't true. The demand for graduates, if anything, is shrinking. Big companies are still going bust. Smaller companies aren't growing to take their place. And a lot of jobs now as well, another factor is outsourcing, so a lot of skilled jobs. Because hiring people in the UK is expensive and bureaucratic. It's not as bad as what it used to be, maybe 5 or 6 years ago, but it's still pretty bad. If there's someone in the world that will do your job for less money, which there is, somewhere in the world, your job will get outsourced immediately, and your job will just disappear. So the jobs that tend to exist in a typical Western nation tend to be lowly skilled service jobs would be the first one. Lots of cleaning jobs, bar jobs, cafe jobs. These are jobs that can't be outsourced. So if you've got a job that might not be very good, and it won't be very well paid because it's not very well skilled, but it will be safe in that regard. Obviously a bar can't outsource its staff in the same way an IT consultancy can. A lot of other industries can as well. That's really changed things, really. The jobs that get left behind require communication skills, social skills, personal skills. You need to be good with people, good at organising, good at management, but you don't necessarily need to be, academically speaking, very smart. You don't need to be to have a high IQ, for example, or have a very good memory, or to be good at exams. So they don't require academic skills, they tend to require more vocational skills. It's both good and bad in a way, because it doesn't mean you can fail, you can flunk your GCSEs and still get a good job just by working hard and getting promoted. Management jobs generally do pay the living wage. A typical management job will pay maybe 20 or 25,000, 28,000 typically for a decent sized cafe or a shop, for example. I was going to say another thing that's probably going to happen in the next few years is retail jobs are going to move online. They're going to become automated out of the economy as well. So yeah, the question is, in a rambling way, if you should go to university, it depends what you want to study and what you want to become. There's a handful of good jobs in engineering, in medicine, for example, in law, where you have to get a degree. You don't necessarily need to do the degree that you're going to go into, so you could do a degree in psychology, and you could do a master's in law, and then you could become a lawyer, for example. But you do definitely need a degree to get your foot in the door there. But most of the degrees now that are taught don't really go anywhere. They're really taught for the benefits of teachers to keep them in a job, and for the universities to keep them making money. They don't really help young people anymore. They don't really add any value. So it's something I think just to be aware if you're thinking about going to university, to think carefully about what you want to do and what you want to become. Don't go just because your friends are going. Don't go because it's expected of you. Go only if it's part of your long-term strategy to succeed in a certain career, and a degree is essential, and you have to go to university. But otherwise, I definitely recommend against it. If you wanted to spend some time out, socialising and so on, you don't have to go to university to do that. You can work part-time, you can go travelling, you can see the world and so on. You certainly don't need to go to university to experience that. You can avoid a lot of the debt and the poverty from that. Um, so yeah, that's my tips for you young people thinking about going to university. I say generally, don't go. Not worth it. Doesn't offer enough value. Doesn't offer enough help. Most degrees don't offer a job now. Only go if you've got a long-term goal, like becoming a doctor, for example, or a lawyer or an economist, where you have to go in order to achieve that. Anyway, hope you found this useful. That's me, Joel, signing off.